Does your motorcycle have a fully charged battery?
Full battery, 100%.
Yet have absolutely no power when you turn it on?
My problem is that you go to turn the switch on and absolutely nothing.
You might have a blown main fuse, and this video is for you. We're gonna look at a blown main fuse on a Honda CB500F.
Alright, so this was driving me crazy. I'm trying to wire up the bike here, right? Got the multimeter out because I was confused, trying to figure out what was going on with the bike. I've got the battery charger hooked up to the battery because that was the most logical thing, that the bike wouldn't turn on because the battery was dead. But if you look at this thing, full battery, 100%. So that shouldn't be the problem. So I was tracking things down, look at the bike all apart. My problem is that you go to turn the switch on and absolutely nothing. No sounds, no lights, completely dead. Nothing works, horns don't work, I mean nothing works. So I tracked it down, it's the main fuse. So typically if it doesn't turn on, it's usually with the battery. On this particular bike, I found when I first got it, it had been in a wreck, and the battery, I put a weak battery on it and I got some lights to turn on the dash up there, but it wouldn't actually start. It would make like a weird clicking sound. Alright, so if I turn the bike on, and then I foolishly go to start it, I get that noise. But now it doesn't do anything, so I trace it down using just a real basic little light tester here. So I'm just going straight to negative over here, and then if I touch it to the positive side of the battery, you'll see it lights up to 12. 12 is like the first one, so it lights up to 12, which is what we want for this. It's 12 volt. All right, then we go down here to our main fuse and everything. All right, so I'm gonna keep this end touched on the negative terminal of the battery. And then this guy, I can see I've got power coming in. On the other side here, there's another little bolt, and that's sort of the juice going out. So again, touching the negative terminal and touching the other bolt going out of the main fuse, we get nothing, no lights, no power going out of there. I go ahead and unplug the wires coming out of this main fuse, and again test these guys and all the connections in here, and I get nothing on any of these things. What is in this main slot right here is this 30 amp fuse. I pulled that out, bam, you can see that's burnt right through. There is a spare fuse down here. You can see that one is not burnt through. Side by side comparison to the old one. See how one's burned through, that little U in the middle is burnt out there. So that's the problem.
Go ahead.
Stick this guy in, and then we should get juice to the bike, and then it should work. It could blow out again if there's a wire that's grounded somewhere that's short circuiting onto something. That could blow this thing out again. Most likely I was welding on the frame of the bike, and that's probably what blew this thing out. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in, plug this back in. I'll try to turn the bike on, see if that works. All right, and the big question is, does the key actually do something now? Yes. Look at that. Awesome. All right, so now I can go back to testing.
So hopefully this video helps you out and gets your motorcycle and you back on the road and having fun again. But you have to ask yourself this question: why did the main fuse blow in the first place? On mine, I'm pretty certain the reason was that I was welding on the frame, and the heat and or electricity from the welding blew that main fuse. But in other cases, blowing a main fuse is relatively unusual because it takes essentially a weakening of that main fuse itself, possibly what I did through extra heat and everything on or near that fuse and that circuit to weaken that fuse, and then later on it could easily blow. Or it could possibly be a number of things, but some other options are that basically you have to overload two separate other fuses, two other circuits simultaneously, have too much power going to two other fuses, which basically bypasses those fuses, and that's why the individual fuses didn't blow, but they overload the main fuse at the same time and it blows the main fuse. So that is another possibility. But in order to prevent this from happening again, you kind of have to figure out why your fuse blew in the first place. Otherwise, you can expect it to happen again. So take a look at your other fuses, your other circuits. Think about what have you done to your bike recently that would have affected the electrical, and start there. That's usually where the problem lies. In my experience, that's typically what happens. So good luck everybody, and keep on wrenching. See you next time.